This is for the creators.
So go on, Mr. Elliot. Yes.
Welcome back, people. Ryan from sunny LA, and Veneer, who's
from Groomery, England, in the kitchen somewhere near you.
But where are you going tomorrow?
I am going to Montserrat, the island that I'm from, tomorrow. Little stopover
Yay.
in Antigua. Sunshine through my window. That's all I have.
I like that. So we'll both be in the sunshine.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll both be in the sunshine. So sorry guys, we've had a bit of a delay with this episode. It was supposed to come out last week, Monday, but we had some scheduling issues. Then we had some technical issues with some of the equipment, and then I flew to LA, which caused more problems. But yeah, we've managed to squeeze this in before Veneer goes on her flight to Montserrat. So yes. We are happy to have your ears. So thank you for joining us again.
Welcome back. Hope you didn't miss us too much, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys didn't miss Stormzy, because he's back like he never left.
He's
with his latest single, Bossy Bop.
Yeah, he smashed it. It was announced that he was going to headline Glastonbury, which, for people who don't know what Glastonbury is, it's a massive music festival in England that happens. It's not even every year. It happens.
I don't think it happened last year. It's normally every year, but I think they didn't put it on last year because basically Glastonbury takes place on this massive farm, and I think the festival was ruining the farm. So they had to give the ground time to like rest and things like that, so that they can obviously plant food after Glastonbury. So I think there wasn't one last year, and I'm not sure if there was definitely one the year before, but there wasn't one last year. Which is also interesting because I can't remember the name of the festival that Stormzy attended recently. Is that the
snow bombing
festival? And he actually refused to perform because some of his friends were
racially profiled.
But hopefully that wouldn't happen at Glastonbury. But outside of that, he's released his first single, solo release, actually, since Gang Signs and Prayers in 2017. Seems like it was just yesterday again.
It seems like it seems like yesterday, but also
feels like ages ago as well. Yeah, it's true. And that was the
so much has happened since
ever grime album to chart #1, which was amazing. That's right. And that was his
that's right, his
first album as well.
Yeah. And I believe it was independent as well. The whole country got behind that album, which is a very key point in moving the culture forward in terms of the artists that have come out after that. It's been amazing. I really think that album helped.
He raised the bar. Down. He definitely raised the bar. The marketing was on point. Everything. Yeah. Those posters were just popping up everywhere. It was just like, oh my god, who's that? And then he was just performing with like a choir. I think like that was the first time, obviously, grime went mainstream and people actually appreciated it as a proper musical genre. And he definitely opened the door for others, and he done it in such a classy way.
Yeah.
So that was great. And also Dahlia played a big part in that, who was also a guest on our show as well. Yeah,
previous guest, Dahlia Diaz. She was the creative director for Stormzy's Big for Your Boots video. So there's, it's opening doors for not only the genre, but also so many really talented creatives from London and the UK to make their mark on the world. So big up Stormzy one time.
Yeah, so the song's called Bossy Bop, but apparently it's inspired by a viral dance that was created by NL Bossy in 2015. Did you remember that dance? Because
I didn't remember it, but I saw when Stormzy announced it on his Twitter, because he left Twitter and he came back, and you see a tweet come up, and he said, like, this is inspired by this video, and I was like, rah. And he made a full tune from it, and I was like, yeah, that's sick. That's sick.
Definitely.
And it's a tune too. It is a bop.
No, it is not. It is a bop. I like the video. The video is really cool. And he definitely played homage to London throughout the video, including
London Tan.
shutting down Westminster Bridge. I want to know who he's
Yeah.
got contacts with and what link storms he has, because that's a very, very, very big move in the daytime as well.
That's a very big move. Yeah, so just for context, Westminster Bridge is probably one of the
Big Ben.
top tourist spots. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, Big Ben is on the foot of Westminster Bridge.
House of Parliament as well.
The only other time I've seen it shut down was for James Bond, like in one of the final scenes of James Bond. So it's that level.
Wow.
It's that level. Man, just shut it down in the daytime as well. Like,
So I was
Bruh,
looking
how
at
did you do
first,
that?
I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Is that Westminster
do you know what I was
Bridge?
thinking though? Yeah, do you know what I was thinking though? Because we've had these protests in London recently about climate change. That's been on, I think, Waterloo Bridge, which is adjacent to Westminster Bridge. I'm thinking, was it like good timing? It's like the city's already disrupted. Look, let me just shoot this thing for like 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Or yeah, I mean, Stormzy's got.
But it could just be also very, very good lighting, and it could have been like very early in the morning. But I just can't even imagine that bridge ever being quiet, so it was definitely shut down because there was no cars. Not even like there was like a 1-2 car just
It might have
rolling
been.
past.
Do you remember that movie, 28 Days Later? That zombie movie.
If it's got
Set in
zombie
London.
in it, I probably don't remember it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that movie, you have a patient who's left hospital, and literally the whole of London is empty. And he's like, "What the hell? London empty?" And the way they pulled that off is they shot in between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. when there's no cars on the road, which is unbelievable for London, by the way. And it's just dead quiet. So maybe they took the same approach.
Maybe.
It'd be good to hear from someone just to hear how they did that.
Yeah. And also, there was a cameo from the one Idris Elba who got married over the weekend.
Yeah.
Which is
Congrats,
nice.
Idris.
A lot of us girls,
Congrats,
we
Morocco.
mourned that day.
Haters.
I'm just saying. When I saw it, I was like, wait. I thought he was just having fun with this girl. What do you mean you're getting married? What? This is supposed to be a temporary
Well, he's not supposed to get married.
Isn't it?
You didn't tell the rest of us.
Yeah, like, so when were we just that? You can't just drop that, Idris. You kind of have to give us a little build up.
Man dropped it like a Beyonce album. Like,
Yeah,
see it there?
literally.
Take it.
I'm like, wait. We heard about the engagement. Could you just give us some notice? Like,
Notice of marriage.
literally.
Funny.
I held my
That's
peace
funny.
though. I didn't stand up in the church or fly to Morocco.
Yeah.
Hold my peace.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the video is good, man. The video is good. So check that out on YouTube, people. We'll stick it up in the link if you haven't already seen it. But the tune's called Vossi Bop, and Stormzy is back. I'm looking forward to his Glastonbury performance headline, because that is a big deal. Historically, historically you had to have had 5-6 albums deep
Really?
to headline. Yeah,
But just
It's like-
as a hip hop or grime artist, the headline in general, because it was primarily a rock and roll type
It
of
was.
vibe before.
Yeah.
I remember when Jay-Z headlined, there was just this big debate about why they
That's
chose
right,
Jay-Z
whether he should do it or
and
not.
things like that. And he had
Mhm.
Noel Gallagher
And bear in
and
mind
people
then-
like that.
exactly. Bear in mind at that point as well, like Jay-Z was probably like 10-12 albums deep,
Mm.
you know, and one of the biggest stars in the world.
It was
So
down
for-
to the genre of music and
It was a case of, this is our space.
stay in your lane, Jay-Z.
You know. Because hip hop wasn't really part of festival culture until maybe the last 5 to 7 years. I don't remember it being a big part of festival culture.
I think Jay-Z probably
changed.
paved the way for a lot of even UK acts to go to Glastonbury, because before it was kind of unheard of.
1000%.
Again, it was everyone just saw
Well,
all of these people going
There's a lot
to
of UK acts,
Glastonbury.
but not UK like hip hop acts.
Yeah, so the whole festival vibe has definitely grown a lot, and with the introduction of like festivals like Wireless, etc.
Wireless, I think made a massive difference into introducing people to festival culture. V Festival as well. BBC Radio, Big Weekends. They done a lot.
Even Wireless is
So-
sold out within, I think, less than a week after the tickets were released. It's already sold out. Which
that makes sense.
Brings us nicely onto our third co-host.
Yay!
Beyonce! Yay!
I think Beyonce has made an appearance in what episode is this? 60. I can't remember. 64. I think Beyonce's made an appearance in probably about 60 of those episodes.
Definitely. But for good reason, though, this time, and it's actually relevant to the topic that we're discussing, because Beyonce was the first Black female headliner at Coachella. And
yes,
that's really cool as well. But what's even more cool is that we've had a chance to watch the documentary, because we spoke about it the last time.
We spoke about it last time, yeah.
We never, because it wasn't released
we spoke about
yet.
her. That's right, yeah. She just announced that she was releasing it and it was going to drop. And yeah, since last episode, the last Creative Culture episode and this episode, we and the world have seen it. And man,
what do you think?
The work, I was just so inspired. Like,
she's a beast.
She really takes it seriously. You know, a lot of artists just go up on stage nowadays and let other people sing their songs. Hey, you know this song, you sing it. It's like, no, nope. We flew from England to LA to see you at Coachella. You sing the song. No, but she really has a respect for the performance.
The craft,
and man, it's just so inspiring. And the fact that she had twins 8 months before the performance, and she
prepared 8 months for it as well.
Yeah. Oh, was it 8 months? Okay, about a year before the performance, she had twins, and then had 8 months to actually rehearse this massive show with hundreds of people, and be the ringleader of that whole process, and really up everyone else's game whilst getting back in shape, whilst being a mother, being a wife, breastfeeding.
Like, who are you?
I was just so inspired. I was like, yeah, I'm not going hard enough.
Yeah,
I need to go Beyonce level.
Beyonce is like, because I've seen Beyonce documentaries in the past, and I know how pedantic she is, and I know that she is involved in every aspect of the performance, all the way down to the lighting. So she was the one that designed the stage, the materials. She knew exactly how she wanted it. And like, some people were saying, oh, she's just being a little bit extra, especially when she gave that speech. But when you have your vision and you know exactly what you want, and the thing is as well, I guess as creatives, and Ryan, you probably know this as well from producing music, sometimes you don't like, because it's in your head. So then you have to get it out of your head and then get other people to interpret it and execute it. So, but there's no words. It's like, who's going to perform at Coachella now? Well, it's already gone, but like, how do you perform after Beyonce?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think it should raise the bar, you know, because a lot of the new artists are taking the performance out of performing. In terms of it being like something you would pay to see on a show, dancers and theatrics and different things. Like, she's really holding that up high, which is good. And I think, you know, for artists that want to have that impact, because Beyonce is not always going to be there, just like Michael Jackson wasn't, and Janet Jackson, and etc. You know, the new artists coming up, I hope that they take that same respect and drive that Beyonce has to their craft, you know, and to hold the bar up high.
She's a living legend. There's no two ways about it. And like you said, it'll be interesting to see. I think the only person for me that probably came close, and she hasn't even really been performing as much, is Lady Gaga, where they actually
good point
put in the effort to make it an entire show. Like, when you go to watch a concert, like you said, you don't want to just be like singing along. You need an entire performance. It should be a show. It should captivate you from beginning to end. I mean, like, I will pay a lot of money to go and see Beyonce, because you know that anytime you go to see Beyonce, it's always going to be a performance. I don't think I've ever seen a Beyonce concert and not been like, wow. Yeah, and absolutely. She's traveling all over the world and performing every night. And even when you saw the documentary, you can see where they used the clips from both performances, but it was so on point. Like,
it was so on point.
You didn't
like
even know.
it was that tight. The choreography was that tight that they could cut in between two separate performances and it'd be
flawless.
Completely flawless. I thought initially it was I was like, right, how did they do that with the editing? They've changed the jumper from yellow to black. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That's what I was thinking at first until you thought, hold on.
Then I saw her hair was different. I was like, oh yeah, sorry, it's 2 weekends.
Yeah, because that's what I was like, hold on, wait. How did she manage to put her hair in a ponytail? It's 2 days. There you go.
Yeah. Smacked it. But also what was genius about this documentary is Beyonce is one of the biggest stars in the world. So obviously can command a massive fee for performing. She actually took a lower fee for this Coachella performance and negotiated the visual rights, so we could then see this documentary. So she negotiated the exclusive rights and took a lower fee, and always had the long game in mind. Yeah,
because I think her fee was $4 million, because a lot of people were comparing how much she got paid to Ariana Grande, who received $8 million for her performance. But like I said, like you just said, Beyonce is in it for the long game, and her vision is always like Beyonce has already thought about this miles ahead of us. So she's thinking, okay, yeah, I can go and do one performance and get paid a one-off fee, or I can just have that money just rolling in forever, like indefinitely. Exactly. Because once it's on Netflix, you could just keep going and watching it and watch it and watch it and watch it, and she's going to collect each time. So,
and also she amplifies her impact, because the whole point of her show was to put American black culture
and the universities
up on the stage. The universities and all of that. Put that out there. That's because she could have just done an average normal performance, but she decided not to.
Yeah.
So the Netflix documentary has then amplified how many people was at that show, how many people live streamed it. That was a moment in time, but now with it being a documentary, it lives forever.
I also see it in a slightly different way as well, and the fact that she called it Homecoming. I think this is her graduating from the young Beyonce into the Beyonce that we're going to see in the foreseeable future. Because if you just think about what her and Jay-Z are doing, like they're doing a lot to highlight the black race and the positive things about being black, and how, being black should be celebrated. So even from everything that Jay-Z is doing with people like Meek Mill and their different foundations and all of that, I think that now, because she even said that as well, like, I don't want to go back to who I used to be at all. Like, it's like she's turning over even
down to that's right, even down to her rehearsal schedule. She's like, I can't do 15-hour days anymore. I have 3 kids.
Exactly.
So she has to change up the way she does things, and her priorities change.
Yeah, so I think anything that she does now is not that she's Beyonce. Beyonce can, drop. She still drops songs as well, because she's just superhuman like that. But I think now they're more thinking that anything that I do has to be quality rather than just doing things because people ask me to do it. Like, what impact is this going to have? And
what impact? Absolutely. I think they're all about legacy
for my children.
Yes. Exactly that. Yeah, so talking about impact, this weekend we had massive weekend in both TV and movies. So we're going to talk about Game of Thrones, and we're going to talk about Avengers afterwards, and just how impactful that has been on the entertainment culture, creatives, and also the financial world, like how much money these shows and movies are making. So we'll start with Game of Thrones. I'm a massive Game of Thrones fan, like many people in the world. I know you're still on season 1, right?
No, I'm on about season 2, 3. I fell off, guys, because when Game of Thrones started, I was in it, right? But then around the time when it started, we moved house and things just got really disrupted. and I've missed so many episodes of it. I just thought, oh my god, I need to start again. And every time I thought, oh, to start again, it's so daunting. But the way how everyone has been hyping about season 8, and the fact that it's at season 8 and everyone's still going on about it, just makes me know I am missing out. Forgive me, guys.
Yeah,
I will catch up.
You will. Just stay away from the spoilers if you can.
Yeah,
it's crazy out. It's crazy out on the internet streets with these spoilers, man. I think like, everyone's excited, obviously, and meme culture makes it really difficult to hide from spoilers. You literally just can't go on the internet. And even if you don't, you might bump into something. Oh, have you seen it? And then they spoil it in real life. So safest thing to do is just watch it before anyone else does, which is what I tend to do. But yeah, impact wise, I wanted to ask, and everyone listening, is this the biggest show that's ever been made? Because I don't know, the impact is just crazy. Like the whole world pretty much stops when there's a new Game of Thrones episode that drops. And I don't know if whether it's because we can see it in terms of like looking on Twitter and Instagram and things like that. You can actually see everyone's excitement, everyone watching it and everyone making comments. Whereas before with, for example, Friends, we didn't have Twitter back then, you know, so you wouldn't see how big an episode's impact was. But I don't know, I think there's something different about
also it's because of
Game
the
of
internet
Thrones.
and because of the accessibility now as well, because you can watch it on a device, so you're no longer restricted to watching it at home.
That's a good point.
And you can watch it on demand, so you can watch it when you want to, or you can sit down and you can just like binge, which is what I'm going to do. So I think all of that adds to it as well. So before, because this is on HBO and Sky, but if you're in, say, India or different parts of the world, you now have the ability to watch these things. And because of the internet, the world's so much smaller as well. So
yeah, smaller and bigger, because when big TV shows went out before, it would go to one screen in one home. But now everyone has their own screens. So instead of you having one screen, you've got like maybe 4 or 5 screens in one home. So it has to be bigger.
Yeah,
in that sense,
definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Because more single users are watching the shows.
And I just think it's just because they put in the work, and it's a major budget, and even from when I was watching it back then, right?
Insane. I think
it's like the characters are set in like medieval sort of times, but they're so relatable. Like there's always something in there that you can see yourself in the characters, and you can empathize with them, and then you begin to love them as well, because everyone's talking about Arya, and was it Arya Stark? Is that her name? Arya Stark, yeah. No, not Arya. Arya Stark. And I remember when I was watching it, she was my favourite character. So I'm interested to see what has happened since then.
That makes so much sense, by the way.
Yeah, she was my favourite character. That makes so much sense
that she's your favourite character. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what she's gotten up to. But yeah.
What she's up to.
But yeah, I just...
Don't spoil it for Vinny, anyone.
It's right, look, I'm so far behind that anything you say would mean anything to me anyway without the rest of the storyline.
That's a good point, actually. So that's actually a good point.
You can say it and I'll just be like, oh, okay, cool.
All right then, yeah safe. That makes sense.
I think the last time I watched it was when what's her name, the one with the dragons. What was her name? She was one of my Khaleesi. She was one of my favorites as well, by the way. And when she just managed to, after she'd married her husband and then she moved away, this is how far back I was, and she came back to take over the throne.
Okay. Yeah, alright, that's better.
Anyway. Ages ago,
yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, mate, yeah. But talking about going hard, everyone involved with Game of Thrones, you know, I think episodes are 10 million upwards to produce. And I think that's an average episode. Like the ones that I've gone out in season 8, which are a lot longer, clearly bigger budgets, must have been, I don't know. Every episode is a movie. And it's crazy the work that goes into it. I I've got here that 50 stunt performers and 200 extras worked on one of the sequences for a 16-day period in cold, rainy November. And the mantra that they used on set to cope was "Go hard or go home." Because when you see that stuff, man, it's like, whoa. Whoa. And when you understand how filming works, how stop-start it is, and how many scenes they did, and how big they are, massive kudos to everybody that made this show for us, for our viewing pleasure. Thank you.
I know,
Appreciate
and all the different elements of it, like the wardrobe, like it's crazy. They're probably planning those like a year in advance before you even get into the stage of filming it, and the writers as well.
Definitely.
So.
For sure. You know what I just thought? I'm down the road right now from Universal Studios, where they have like Harry Potter World, Simpsons World, things like that.
There
has to be a Game of Thrones world. There
Yeah.
has to be one. There has to be one coming up, man, because it's that impactful.
How would you feel if they made a film? I don't think they should.
No, it'll be too short because films are like 2-3 hours, and you know these episodes are ranging at about an hour and a half. So they wouldn't be able to pack in what they need to. The pacing of the storytelling would just be way too quick for what Game of Thrones is. So yeah, no movie, please.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Just more shows.
Yeah, just
more
keep
shows,
going.
more seasons. How about that? Keep it going.
Yeah, which ties in nicely with something that's been around for a long time. Avengers.
Yes, Avengers. So yeah, Avengers Endgame is out. I haven't actually seen it yet. I'm hopefully seeing it today. I've been trying to dodge them spoilers online, but I've been hit by a couple of stray bullets out on them internet streets.
Pow.
Yeah, so annoying. But yeah, the whole Marvel series has really, really boosted the event side of going to the cinema. I think they really made these movies into. They brought back the blockbuster in essence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bringing back movies that people are excited to go to the cinema and see. And I think they've done a really, really great job in creating that whole universe. Because there's been loads of Marvel films, hasn't there?
Yeah, because this year we haven't really, because compared to last year when we had like Black Panther and all of that, like this year the box office has been really quiet. It's like in the first quarter of 2019, the box office was down by a huge 16.3% when compared to quarter one of 2018. So, do you
reckon that's directly because of Black Panther? Because Black Panther was such a huge success in the first quarter of 2018.
Potentially, but it just goes to show in general though. So even if you do think about it though, Black Panther is essentially the Avengers of 2009. Black Panther is the Avengers of 2018 because Avengers has saved the box office again this year by pulling in $357 million in its first 3 days. So basically, Marvel films are saving the whole cinema.
The whole industry, yeah, it's crazy, like the pulling power it has. But I think it's good. It's good for both the industry and for viewers alike.
It's good, but also scary.
We have HBO level stuff on our phones, like Netflix. Like there's so many great things out there. So it's good that there are movies that bring us out of our rooms to get into a cinema to watch something. It's nice.
Yeah, but why I say it's dangerous is because it's one film and they take so long to make. And if one film is having such a dramatic impact on the entire industry, it's like, how powerful is cinema these days? Especially when you're, like you said, on TV, we have quality content on demand. So when you go into the cinema now, you're going for an experience. It's not because of convenience or because you have to see. Because before, back in the day, like television programs, like, mate, we were dealing with EastEnders, Coronation Street, UK soaps, by the way. That was really the level of TV. Like, you didn't have like major dramas that kept people like engaged for six series or seasons, like Game of Thrones. Seasons, that's 8. Yeah,
that's
8
like
seasons.
10 years.
That's what I mean. So usually you'd have one that comes along. It's good for a certain amount of time, and then everyone tails off. Because even I remember
Yeah.
when everyone was into like Power as well, and like things like Empire, but eventually they fizzle out because it becomes a little bit try hard. So for them to be able to maintain this is really good. But back to cinema, I remember we sat down with a cinematographer on one of our early episodes, and we were
Yeah.
talking about cinemas and whether they're going to be around for much longer if they've been replaced by things like Netflix. And, you know, there's quality content on Netflix and Amazon
It's
Prime
mad.
and all of these other platforms now. It's like,
It's crazy.
how often
It
do
is
you
crazy.
go to the cinema?
Mm.
So,
And you don't. I mean, like, for a lot of the movies, you'd be like, that looks interesting. I'm going to wait till it's on Sky Atlantic in 3 months, or on Netflix in 3 months. You know, even like myself, I'm like, yeah, no, that's a sit at home movie. That's not a cinema movie. I think we like the event side of it. Like, you know, you want to go and really be excited and have a lot of anticipation. So you leave. It's like the whole experience side of it.
yeah,
You
so
want to leave feeling
Black
excited. Like you've gone on
Panther,
a roller coaster.
people were dressing up. Like these Marvel
Yeah, that's right,
films
yeah.
work because you can dress up and be in character, and a lot of this
Yeah.
is nostalgia as well because
Mm.
it's not even because of the fact that the movie is coming out now. It's because you guys have been invested in this from you were younger because you've read the comics,
Yeah,
you've
for real.
invested. So this is like years worth of work.
Even if someone was introduced to the Avengers from the first movie, you know, or from the first Iron Man, you know, that's 10 years deep. So thinking about it, like a 9-year-old in 2009 is now a 19-year-old.
Exactly.
You know, so that's their whole teen. So it's an era, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Which brings us nicely over to the Obamas, which is
Yeah,
like they're killing it.
God, yeah, man. They're really continuing their impact. They've just revealed some shows and some films that they're working on with who other than Netflix. So they're working on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 films and documentaries. So I'll just read through them quickly. So they're working on American Factory, which is a documentary that examines life in Ohio. They're working on Bloom, which is a drama series set in post-World War II New York. A film adaptation of Frederick Douglass's Prophet of Freedom. An adaptation of New York Times series Overlooked. A series based on The Fifth Risk, Undoing Democracy. Crip Camp, a documentary film about the origins of the disability rights movement. And Listen to Your Vegetables and Eat Your Parents, a half-hour series for preschoolers. So they're going in.
Yeah, not one.
That's not
two.
Know, that's not one movie.
And the thing is,
that's
as well,
not one
like,
documentary.
I don't doubt that they're both capable of pulling this off because they're amazing human beings. But I've never really associated them with film, more documentary. Because you just think, well, me stereotypically, I thought, oh, I was going to do a documentary about Obama. Like when you mentioned it, I was just, oh, they're just probably going to do something about their life or whatever, like a biopic.
Yeah, like a biopic.
Yeah, so I think that's them doing this is actually throwing everyone off because everyone's thinking, and for that reason, you'd go and watch them as well because you're thinking, wow, like, what can they do in this arena, you know? But they're both
Absolutely.
educated, superb human beings, so I have no doubt that they'll have an amazing team behind them to pull this off.
For sure. And I think, again, they're using Netflix to amplify their impact. Same thing that Beyonce's doing. You know, I don't think it's a coincidence that it's that it's Netflix in a world where we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, Facebook, all of these different companies that have all the money in the world that could have done a deal with the Obamas. That Netflix is the choice that they made, you know. So it feels like we discussed this last time about Netflix taking risks and supporting ideas that maybe other people aren't. It seems as if you've got something that would be kind of risky in terms of putting out in the world, that Netflix are backing that, which is awesome for us, as the audience, because we're getting really good programs.
Yeah, I think for me, it almost comes across as if they're not biased in any way. Because I've watched some things on Netflix. I'm like, wow. There's that film I told you about.
Giving everyone a voice.
But even the people who you probably think don't deserve to have a voice. But it's a
exactly.
It's a true reflection of the world that we live in. And I think that's why they win. Because there's something for everyone on Netflix. Whereas back in the day when you had, say, a television network or a studio, there was always these men at the top who were controlling things and just allowing us to see the same things over and over again. But with Netflix, you're getting a real insight, whether you're Hispanic, you're German, you're Spanish, you're whatever you may be, black, white, whatever color, everyone has a voice on Netflix. And it also comes across as very authentic. So
it does. It really does. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm looking forward to when those come out. It doesn't actually say when they're dropping, but I mean, in true Netflix fashion, we'll probably find out a week before or a couple of days before.
To be fair, it's probably coming out next week, which is why they've mentioned it.
Good point.
Think about when we
keep
even
your eyes and ears out for these
hear
people.
that Beyonce is bringing out a documentary.
A week before,
exactly.
Or a couple weeks before.
So this is some things. At least one of those are going to be dropping like by the end of summer.
That's a very good point.
If not next week, because they don't announce things like without them dropping. Because I think that's why they're winning as well. Because like they're used to the fact that we want things and we want it now. So you've told me about it. Like, why am I waiting until next year? And God only knows what can happen in a year's time. I might not even be interested in you and your content anymore. So they just drop the announcement and they just bring it out. So look out for an Obama film next week.
The next week. I'm just reading here that so currently Netflix have 148 million paying subscribers. That's huge. That is huge. So at a touch of a button, as soon as they press that distribute or release button, that's going to near enough 150 million people. Wow, that's massive.
Insane.
That's massive.
I wonder if the owner of Netflix is single, because I need to be doing what the guy from Amazon's wife did. Anybody?
Now you needed to be in there from the jump. You know, Netflix started in like 1996.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It started out as a DVD postal service. So you would go on their site and then ask for a film and they'll post it to you and then you send it back. So they were originally a Blockbuster competitor and destroyed Blockbuster and evolved into what Netflix is today. But yeah, they've been in it nearly 3 decades.
Wow.
96, 2006. Yeah, over 3 decades. I think I got my maths wrong. My brain's not working. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it's crazy, and you know the impact that they've made. You know, it only really reached popular mainstream culture maybe like 5-6 years ago, when the whole Netflix and chill thing went viral. That's really when it hit mainstream culture. But look how long it took to get there. About 20 years.
Yeah.
It's mad.
The funny thing is that should have been technically Netflix should have been blockbusters, and that's why it's so important to move with the times and to stay on the ball.
Yep.
Because you have to see, you can't remain stagnant, because I think HMV, Blockbusters, all those organizations, they really missed out by not staying on top of the ball. Like HMV should have been Spotify.
That's right.
And the same with Blockbuster should have been Netflix. You just can't get too comfortable. Even though you're comfortable at your level, still be thinking 10 years ahead like Beyonce. Like, think about the long
like
game.
Beyonce. Like Netflix.
Exactly.
For sure.
Cool.
For sure. Innovate. That's the way. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I just realised, so the past week and a half, we've been trying to record this episode. And we've had various scheduling issues, technical issues. I've just looked at the date. It's our first year anniversary for this show.
No way.
Yeah.
It is. It is as well.
You lost my words.
That's crazy. It's the 1st of May, isn't it? Well, we did it the
That is
30th
mad.
of May. I think
No, 30th of
April.
30th of April. But I mean, we uploaded the Jay London interview on 30th of April, but we really started. Well, we really pressed go 1st of May, I think.
Wow.
So, yeah. Wow, look how far we've come, man.
How far we've come. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. Thanks to everybody that's listened to us for the past year. We're going to keep going. We love all your messages and all the love that we get. You know, we started from nothing.
Started from the bottom, now
you know, we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole 4 graders are here. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's just really good, man. We've had so much fun doing this, and it's really, really opened our minds. And we've met so many great people, man. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's definitely been a great ride. And this is actually our 63rd episode, not our 64th.
Oh, 63rd.
So, 64th episode
63rd.
on the anniversary of our first episode, which is really good in a year.
Wow.
The 64.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Who would have thought it? You didn't even know what a podcast was start of last year.
You have to tell every...
No, sorry. Well, no, but it just goes to show that you can not know something, then jump in and then just do it even though you don't know it and, you know, become a master at it.
Definitely. Yes, guys, thank you very much for all of your support. Thank you for every single air that we've ever had to date. Thank you for every recommendation, every like, every comment, every share. You know, thank you to all of our guests who've taken a shot on us, not knowing who. Some of you didn't even know who we are. In fact, most of you didn't have a clue who we were, but, you know, you gave us the opportunity and you shared your story with us and our audience, and we're forever grateful for every single one of you, because we're nothing without you.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, guys, catch us next episode for another great interview we have coming up. And if you can, please, for our anniversary, drop us a review on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, or wherever you hear this. Share it with a creative friend and review us. Give us 5 stars if you can, please.
Yes, I put the 5 stars on it.
Yes. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.
Coolio. Bye.